Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So tonight for dinner we're going to have barbecued meatballs, but we're cooking them in the crock pot. I've been kind of rearranging my pantry and my freezer and stuff, and I discovered that I had some ingredients that have been sitting around forever, and I thought I need to get them used up because I like to replenish my pantry whenever I possibly can. Same thing with my freezer. But things sometimes get pushed to the back. You know how that goes. And you forget that they're there. So this week, I'm going to do two very simple meals that require very few ingredients. And in fact, these meatball ones, I'm using frozen meatballs, so they only take 3 ingredients. Now I'm going to be serving them with rice, but you could serve these over mashed potatoes or noodles or rice, or you could just serve them as meatballs on nothing else, and it's up to you. But I'm going to be serving them over rice. All right, so we're going to get started, and like I said, I'm going to be doing 2 meals. So I'm going to be doing the barbecue meatballs, and then I'm also going to be doing a Parmesan chicken. And both are super simple, and they take no time at all. The meatballs will take 4 hours, but they're in the crock pot. So it's just going to take a matter of minutes to get them into the crock pot. And so we're going to get going. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our meatballs. Now, as I said, they're frozen. So I've already used part of the bag for another recipe. So I'm just finishing up the bag. Then we're going to do a 1/4 cup of ketchup. Ooh, that didn't make a very good sound. Okay, and then we're using a whole bottle of barbecue sauce, and I'm just using Kraft. I'm using a hint of honey barbecue sauce, but you use whatever barbecue sauce you want. It's completely 100% up to you. So we're just going to do a whole bottle of it. Kind of stir this up a little bit so that each meatball is covered. Now you can increase the recipe if you want. It's up to you. There's only 2 of us, so we're going to have this for 2 nights. It's going to be leftovers as well. All right, so we got our bottle of sauce in there. We've got everything all stirred together. We're going to turn it on low, and we're going to let it cook for 4 hours. And I will bring you back and show you what it's going to look like. Okay, so it's been 4 hours. It smells delicious. So I'm just going to take off the lid. It's bubbling away. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now you could do more meatballs if you want. There's definitely enough sauce that I could have done more, but I was using up all the meatballs that we had. And like I said, you just increase the ingredients if you wanted to. It was a partial package. I would say it was 1/4 of a package of meatballs that we get from Costco. They're the Italian meatballs. But you can use whatever kind you want of meatballs. You can even make your own if you want. I'm just trying to get some things out of the freezer before freezer burn sets in. And these smell wonderful. As you can tell, look at that. Isn't that wonderful looking? So, yeah. I'm going to be serving this with rice, so I am going to be turning this to warm just to keep it warm because the rice isn't ready yet, and I don't want to start something and it not be done yet. All right, so this is what it looks like, and it smells delicious. The next meal is going to be garlic Parmesan chicken, and that I'll be adding to this video, and it's wonderful taste, or going to taste wonderful. I've had it before, I've made it before, so, but this time I'm doing it a little different. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but that'll be fun. All right, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so we're on to dinner number 2. I am making garlic Parmesan chicken tonight. It has just a few ingredients, so it should be a fairly simple meal to make. Just like when the meatballs were made, those were very simple to make, only required a couple of ingredients, and they were absolutely delicious. So we're going to do the same thing. Very few ingredients that you probably have in your pantry that you just totally forgot about. All right, so let's get going on it. Okay, I'm going to be serving this with spaghetti noodles. So I've got my water going for that. I'm going to spray this real quick. Don't want anything sticking to it. All right, I'm going to move this now out of the way. Got that done. Okay, and then in my bowl, I'm going to add a quarter cup of panko breadcrumbs. And you can use whatever kind of breadcrumbs you actually have. So if you have just Italian, use those. Whatever you have, just use that. You can even probably use crackers if you really needed to. Just squish them up. Okay, then we're going to add a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese. Now I'm just using this. I don't want these big clumps. I'm going to remove those. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of stir that up a little bit. Cheese is kind of clumpy. Okay. Now all we're going to do is I'm going to start with I'm doing chicken thighs and chicken breasts. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my chicken thighs, and I'm just going to cube them up. Now the recipe says to put them in whole. I'm not doing that. I'm cubing them, or just put them in into not whole, but into strips. And I am not going to do that. I am going to put them into chunks. I think it'll cook easier and better. I just think it's going to be better that way. At least I think. Maybe it won't. Whoops. I started chopping this earlier and then I stopped for some reason. All right, got that one done. Now let's do the chicken breast. Pretty simple so far, right? You know what, I'm going to get it off of the plate. It's easier. All right, we got that done. I'm gonna wash my hands, clean up this area, and we'll move on. Okay, so now we're just going to mix this up in here. All the chicken. Get everything mixed up. Now you can actually shred your Parmesan cheese and use fresh like that, but I figured that this would coat better, and that's why I went this route. Okay, I'm gonna grab my pan, casserole dish, and I'm just gonna dump this in there. Make sure you get all the goodies out. Kind of spread it around a little bit. Oh, did I mention that I'm preheating my oven to 375? I might not have mentioned that. All right, we've got that done. Next step is to add this Buffalo Wild Wings garlic, Parmesan garlic. Now, I just love this on wings. But I also like it on chicken and French fries and anything else. Okay, it says that you're supposed to put a half a cup, but you know what? I'm going to, if I can get it out, I'm just going to kind of dump. It looks like about a half a cup, more than a half a cup, really. And then I'm just going to kind of stir it all together. Now, I am going to add just a tad bit of the Parmesan of the mix into my noodles after they're cooked. Just a little bit, maybe a dollop or two. All right, let me spread this out. And we're going to cook it for 25 to 30 minutes until the chicken reaches an internal temperature of 165. All right, so I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, so I got it out of the oven. It took 25 minutes. So now I'm just going to add it to our spaghetti. Which, let me move this over so you can see what I'm doing. So I've cooked our spaghetti noodles. Didn't want to stay. All right, well then. All right, so I'm just going to kind of spoon it in, and then I'm going to mix it up. When it gets light enough that I can lift this, because I want to make for sure we get all of the goodies into the bowl. Oh, it smells wonderful. Super simple. Okay, got that done. Let me move everything out of the way. Bring the bowl back so you can see. And then I'm just gonna mix it up. And I decided against adding anything to the spaghetti noodles because there was plenty of sauce. So I didn't think that it really warranted any more than what's already here. But you can also just make the noodles with the sauce if that's what you want to do. You don't have to do the chicken. You can just do pasta noodles if you're doing something that you want Parmesan, garlic Parmesan pasta noodles for. You can do that as well. As I said, you don't have to have the chicken. That's up to you. Doesn't that look wonderful? All right, how's that look? Looks good. Looking forward to trying it. Okay, so we've done 2 recipes. We did the barbecue meatballs and we did the garlic Parmesan chicken with pasta. With the meatballs, I served it with rice, and we did end up eating it for 2 days. This is also going to be a 2-day meal for us, possibly a lunch as well, because there's a lot here. All right, well, these are pretty simple meals to make. You could do them after work or after a busy day. With the meatballs, you just put it in the crock pot, put it on low, and go about your day, and then come back and you got dinner ready to go. You can also, with both recipes, you can double it, triple it, however you want to do it. Whatever fits your family needs. There's just 2 of us, so we don't need a lot. All right. Well, I hope that everything's going great and you're having an amazing day. And hit that like, hit the share, and hit the subscribe button. And also give these recipes a try. I'll talk to you later. Bye.